Hey guys, so for today's video I'm going to be talking about coming out, and I'm going to get to why I didn't specify that in the title in a second. Now, to start this video off, you have to know that, in my opinion, there are two types of coming out. One is coming out to someone as autistic or as having any kind of mental condition or anything similar to that. The other one is coming out to somebody about being homosexual, bisexual,
transsexual, asexual, anything amongst those lines, pansexual, demisexual, whatever, anything amongst those lines.
There may be more types of coming out, but those are the two ones I'm going to be talking about now, because those are the two ones that I'm defining. Now, I think that one of those is really good and important to do, and that the other one is discriminating bullshit. Now, you can guess which one is which, and I'm going to give you some time to figure that out. I'll be waiting here. Okay, let's continue. When I came out to my school of being autistic, I had prepared a 40-minute PowerPoint presentation, and then I invited everybody into the science lab to present and after answer some questions afterwards. When I came out as being bisexual, Oh, yeah, right. I didn't. I want to live in a world where I'll be treated exactly the same, no matter if I'm gay, straight, or bi. And this practically means that I just exclude individuals that don't share this opinion from my life. Oh, and also that I just don't act any differently. Because obviously, if you want to be treated the same, the first step is to behave the same. Because you can't be expected to be treated exactly the same if you don't act the same. If you act differently, you're going to force people to react differently. And you see where I'm going with this? Right. Coming out is acting differently from the way straight people, which is the majority of people, do. They don't come out. I've never seen somebody walk around being like, hey, I'm straight. Hey, I am heterosexual. Oh, I have to tell you something. I'm straight. What up? I'm straight. I am heterosexual. Hey, I like dicks. Mom, Dad, I have to tell you something. Yeah, this is kind of hard, and please don't hate me, but I'm heterosexual. I'm straight, Mom. I like dicks, Dad. Hi, Mom and Dad, if you're watching this. So that would be pretty weird, wouldn't it? So why isn't it weird that actors call the managers to organize a press call or something just to tell the world that they're gay or bi? Think about that for a minute. And the weirdest thing, of course I know where that is coming from. To me, it still sounds a bit weird that the people that apparently are so open to everybody's sexuality and who think gay people are great, bisexual people are great, straight people are great, and who want equal rights, that those people are like, yay, it's so good that this person has organized this press call to tell the world that they're gay. Because seriously, the fact that they have to do that is discriminating them. They have to put more work. They have to put more actual work into something, or they have to let people put actual work into something just because they happen to like the same sex? Seriously? And you think that is an open society? Well, I think it's discriminating bullshit. If somebody asks me about my sexuality, of course I say, hey, yeah, I'm bi. So of course I'm open about it. If someone's a homophobe, I don't want them in my life. Now let's move on to the good kind of coming out, shall we? The good kind of coming out is coming out as autistic, depressed, having social anxiety, being bipolar, having BPD, having DID. And now you may say, wait, but how is that any different? Shouldn't you treat people with mental illnesses and or disorders the same way you treat other people? Well, yes. And no, yes. These people do have the same rights. They should, at least. they do sometimes need special care. Like, for example, if I have a meltdown or a shutdown or a panic attack, and people don't know I'm autistic, or they don't know that there's anything wrong with me, they obviously are just going to think I'm being weird, and they're obviously not going to be able to help me. If they do know I'm autistic, on the other hand, they can be like, oh, I'm going to read a bit about that so I know what it actually means. Oh, autistic people can have meltdowns and shutdowns and panic attacks and all that kind of stuff. What can I do if that happens while I'm around her? And then they are not only not going to think that you're completely weird and stuff, they're even going to be able to help you. And they're going to be able to ask you questions about what can I do if you're not feeling well? What can I do to make you feel better? What if you don't need any help? Well, it's still good to come out to them, because at some point you might need help. Also, it's good that people know why you might be behaving differently, why you might do something that might be considered weird or different. Because that's what we are, technically. We're just being different. And if you're saying like, whoa, but what if I don't believe differently, like, ever? Number one is that you might not realize that. You might not realize that you're actually behaving differently because it's your disorder or condition that doesn't make you see that you're behaving differently. You're just like, why is everybody looking at me like I'm a complete weirdo? Because you don't realize that you're being a complete weirdo. Number two, if you don't need any help and you're not different in any way, then how did you get it diagnosed? And actually, to get the point across that I'm trying to make, I might just as well have added having an allergy to the list. Do people with allergies have exactly the same rights as everybody else? Of course they do. Do you have to treat people with allergies differently? Yes, you do. Because if somebody's allergic to nuts, and you'd bake some nut brownies, that wouldn't be too great. If a person is allergic to dogs, and for their birthday you give them a little puppy, that wouldn't be too great. So you have to treat them differently. Think about it. So even though you're not going to go like, ew, allergic person, you're not going to get this job, it's still good to know, so that you won't feed them anything that's going to kill them. So summarizing for this video, you could practically say, if you want to be treated differently, then come out. If you don't, then don't. And I'm going to leave this sentence there in your brain for you to think about it. And I'll see you next week. Bye! And so we're back at the end card. Yay! Amazing! So what do you think about this topic? Can you agree with me? Like, can you see my point? Or do you think like, who the fuck dropped her on her head as a child? Tell me in the comment section below. And I guess I will see you next week. Bye!